In this video, we're going to be going over how to set business goals for the next year so you actually can achieve the items you want. So you'll hear a lot of people talk about SMART goals, and while those are great, I think there's a little bit different way you can break these down so you can actually get them done instead of trying to put them directly through these SMART goals that everyone talks about. So we'll be talking about something a little different. So I'm going to jump on my screen and show you guys what I'm talking about. So the way I like to break down goals is kind of doing it backwards, and you can kind of go from a goal to kind of different sub goals, then strategies or how you accomplish those, to actually getting action items. So the first thing we really need to do is to kind of work backwards from whatever our goal is. Now, most people's main goal with a business is going to be to make more money, and that's kind of obvious. That's usually everyone's main goal, and then we'll have goals under that. So there will be a couple different ways you can break these down. So I'm going to give you an example right here. So let's say our goal is to make 100,000 revenue this next year. Well, what do we already know? So some of our goals are going to be things like, hey, I want to increase my average order value, or I want to get more traffic, or these kind of things. So what we know about our business already, if we're already selling and already up and going, is we'll know what our average order is or what our average product cost is. So we know our average order, let's just say it's $40. So every time someone checks out on our website, we get paid $40. And we'll say we also know our conversion rate. So let's say we only get 10% of people who come to our website to purchase. So with those two items, we can kind of break down these goals further. So for example, we know, okay, 100,000 revenue is our goal. And if we know our average order is $40, then how many people do we need to get to purchase? And you'll ask yourself, how many customers do I need to get to 100,000 knowing these two things? And the answer would be, okay, I need 2,500 customers. And you'll notice we're just going to keep asking how until we get to these action items. So if I know I need to get 2,500 customers to get to this revenue goal I want, how am I going to get those customers? Well, we said our average conversion rate is 10%. So if we just multiply these together, that means we need 25,000 visitors, since we're only converting 10% of them, in order to reach that 100,000 revenue. Now, you can break it down like this, and then you could say, okay, well, how do I get more traffic? Or another way you could look at it, instead of saying, hey, I want 2,500 customers, you could say, how do I increase my average order? Or how do I raise my conversion rate over here? So the main goals we would have in order to get to this 100,000 would be through this example down here. So let's say we want to break down an example of how we'd actually do this into action steps from our main goal. So the way I would normally break it down would be, okay, we have our main goal. Again, that's that make 100,000 here. So this example, and then we have our sub goal right here. So that can be various different things under it. They're not necessarily action steps, but goals that contribute to this main goal of making that 100,000 revenue. So one of those would be to increase my average order. If I do that, it's going to help me get to that goal. I don't have to have as much traffic. So that's one of the goals I have, is to increase that average order. And you can say, great, well, how do I do that? And that's where we're going to add these next kind of strategies or how-tos. And then, so for example, we could add upsells or different products into here. That's something we could do. Again, strategy or how-to here. And then under there, you have kind of action items. So if we want to add upsells, what do we need? Well, we need to research potential products, things for upsells. We're going to need to integrate that to our store. Once we do it, we're going to have to price them. We're going to have to do a different flow on our website for that. So there would be a lot of different things you could add under here that are action items. So instead of just saying my goal is to make 100,000, it's hard to give these statistic or performance-based ones, whereas you can break it down and say, I'm doing all these steps that should lead to this. So we have add upsells, and you can see we have A here, but then we also have B. So you can have multiple sub goals under this kind of bigger main goal right here. Another one would be to increase our product price. If we increase our price, we don't have to sell as many or have as many customers. So one of the ways we could do that would be to add more value to our product so we can increase that price. So we could research ways to add more value, maybe ways to improve our current product. We could find different freebies or bonuses we could kind of bundle together that might be really cheap or not cost us anything, that will be able to increase our product price and the value. And then you could have other action steps where you can go and actually integrate these. And even these could have sub ones if you really want to break it down further. So that's kind of the main way we'll break it down. And there's a lot of different categories, and I'll give you guys a couple more examples here of just kind of short of ways I would do for this. So again, one of the ones we said would be, hey, I need to increase my conversion rate because that's going to help me make more. If I have that, I need less traffic. So what kind of things would improve a conversion rate? Well, if I improve my product listing, if I decrease cart abandonment, lots of different things that can add to this. And you can see if I want to improve my product listing, I could say we need better product page copy. Maybe I need to rewrite my call to action. Maybe I need to improve my product images. And even these action steps under it, I could brainstorm kind of, hey, what images do I want? Is it people using the product? Is it more just showing off the features? Is it even a video? And then even schedule a photo shoot. Who am I contacting? These kind of things. So you can list out these different action items and turn a big goal or these medium goals that all kind of funnel into the same thing into one main goal. So you have things like increasing conversion, increased traffic, and I don't think I need to go through these examples, but there's lots of different categories. This doesn't have to just be performance-based when you're making goals. For example, it could be social media saying, hey, I want to post this many times. Well, in order to post 3 times a week right here, I need content to post. So how am I going to get my content? I want to plan that out. Am I going to schedule content out? Am I paying someone to make it? Is there anything I need? Do I need any tools? Do I need something along those lines? So the things you need, the action steps, you could even add notes under this or even make little tables for this, but there's a lot of different areas. You could even do like cost reduction. You could do building out your team if you want to save more time, looking into tools to make things more efficient or work better in your processes. This could be getting reviews, customer service. You want to improve your customer service, your customer experience. It could be increasing the long-term value of a customer. So doing email campaigns, pushing to try and get these customers to repurchase, and doing other things along those lines. So there's a lot of different categories, but if you think of these main goals and just keep saying, okay, well, how do I do that? You'll get more sub goals. So again, I'll use this last example. I want to increase traffic to my website so I can make more money. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, I can get more people through social media. And I say, okay, how? Well, I could post more. Okay, and in order to post more, I need to do these things. I could boost posts here and do that. I could use influencers, those kind of things. And you can do the same with, hey, I want to run some ad campaigns. That's how I'm going to increase traffic. Great. What platform? Do I have a budget? How am I going to get the content created? And what's the strategy there? So I find this to be very efficient in a way to actually get to action items when you might not know, because a lot of people like to throw out random numbers. I want to make $100,000, $1 million this year in revenue, in sales and profit, whatever it is. And or even grow on social media, and they don't really have any way to quantify it. It feels like guessing, and I was there too. So doing it this way, I've found the most success. And again, there's lots of different categories. You might run into some goals where you can't really break them down like this. You can try, but usually you can set those to the side, do those a little different. But I've had the most success with this, and I think if you guys try this out, I think you'll find success with it as well. Need extra help with your marketing or social media? Well, utilize our free marketing resources like our social media blueprint ebook or our 150 social media post ideas. You can grab these free resources in the description below.